Hey guys, Stephanie here. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. Long time no see. Need to take a little break, a little hiatus from all the crazy. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. Soon to be a new year. Don't get too excited because the crazy is just beginning and it already has been installed. So, what I find hilarious is in New York. Show me your papers. Remember when that was just like a conspiracy theory? Like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to force anybody to get vaccines. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. Well, everything is kind of happening, right? And there seems to be like this extreme cognitive dissonance and like gaslighting and projection because I'm sorry to say, but like to all these Trump supporters, I was a hardcore Trump supporter and I realized, he ain't doing shit. He was supposed to lock up Hillary. Obama was supposed to go down. Gitmo open. Trust the plan. How's that plan working out? It didn't go anywhere. he starting his own media corporation, and this entire time he hasn't even been in office. He's been asking for donations to help combat the Democrats. It's called counter opposition. It's it's a common tactic. Whenever somebody's going to overthrow something, well, there's always going to be a group of people who are going to rebel and revolt. So the smart thing to do is to have somebody like a goat go out there and make those people think this guy's your savior. He's your hero. He's going to do it all. You're going to make it. You love him. We hate him. And the entire thing is ridiculous too because it's like, well, he's only doing this and he only had to do that because he had to, call out all the people and wake people up. I'm seeing him still defend Fauci. Ghislaine Maxwell, he wished her well, and she just got found guilty in a private court setting. Very private. Nothing can be released. And Trump is on a lot of those call logs, flight logs. So is Ivanka, his ex-wife. Um, other Trump family members. It's kind of sick. He's a pedo. As much as I hate to say it, he is. But it's like people literally deny the facts. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell could have outed. We've seen the proof. There's tons of people heavily involved in every aspect of our lives that are involved in this nasty stuff. And I guess because it's so big and so deep and so disturbing, they just find her guilty. Epstein killed himself. And that's all, folks. Just like, how they don't want documents released until 75 years later. Well, why? Why is that? Because you want to protect all of the relatives and ancestors? Because, after 100 years, people tend to forget things. Just like what's going on now. I mean, all throughout our culture, it's a total fucking disaster. You know, you can't even have your own freaking opinion. You can't. You can't think for yourself. You can't nothing. And you can't even argue with these people because they're so goddamn delusional. They're like, I don't know if they have Stockholm syndrome or if it's fear or what. And then I try to like play devil's advocate, like, okay, well, that's kind of like how Hitler's game was. What he did is it was slow and methodical. He came up and, he started making certain people bad. They're dirty. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. So it was like a slow but steady propaganda. Okay, and even the royal family was involved in this. And I don't even know if I could say that because the last video I did where I spoke with the queen, they deleted it. But I just find it odd how, like all these high power, all these elites, all these, people are all connected to this chick and Epstein and nothing happens. You know, um, I'm sorry, but nobody's coming to save you. The only person that's going to save you is yourself. And I think it's freaking pathetic and tragic that majority of people look for a savior in a celebrity or a politician or any of these people. Trump is just another actor on the world stage. I got pulled into it too. Because at the end of the day, we all want to believe that this is going to end and somebody's going to change it and somebody's going to make it better. But at the end of the day, it's not happening. And we keep slowly losing more and more rights. But I mean, either way you look at it, both political parties are horrible. They're trash. Um, Majority of people don't realize that they're victims of like menticide, and you know, they're well, Stockholm syndrome. These sociopathic narcissists, they have people living in fear that you can't survive without us. You need me. If you go against me, you won't get this and that. So just like all the people thinking they were gonna get, oh, your school tuition is gonna be canceled, this and that. Nothing ever happens that they promise people. But yet people still blindly follow. Just like I'm a zombie. And and all of a sudden you had all these vaccinations with kids, right? Now it's like all of a sudden all these kids are in the hospitals with COVID. I mean, it's not rocket science to see what's happening. It's really not. It's right in front of your face. Not to mention everything that you've been told from day one is bullshit. It's all a lie. Our entire history we've been taught, religions, everything, it's all bullshit meant to design us and to keep us trapped into this fear system of obey your master or there will be consequences. Okay? So back in the day, there were, the Roman Catholic Church, and there were also pagans, and believe it or not, a lot of our religion has been manipulated. Okay? Well, God, how do I put this without offending people? Religion is bullshit. And Jesus, he was a pagan. He believed in mysticism, in we are God within. We have the power within our subconscious mind because our brain, we are energy, we are water, we can manifest, we can do all these amazing, beautiful things, right? With our bodies, just with our thoughts. Without consciousness, none of this exists. Without somebody having a thought, there is no, what would you call it? Evolution in society. Without somebody having a thought other than what they're being told to say, I'm just going to pretend like that didn't happen. It almost knocked over my beer, but it's okay. I'll save my beer. And I will just have a little sip. So, back then, Jesus was trying to tell people, like in the ancient Egyptians and all that kind of culture, they had natural healing. Like if you look in a lot of the ancient temples and all that, they had a natural renaissance, like sound and all that to promote healing. But you have to remember, in healthy people, there's no money for government without wars. There's no money. There's no money for anything. Without religion, there's no money because they have to get you to come, and then they get tax write-offs, and then you're like, you got to donate a certain portion of your income to the church, or you're horrible, But if you think about it, if God is such a loving God, why is he so mean? Because God isn't a person. It's a vibration. It's a spirit. It's within us all. It's in our pineal gland. It's metaphysical. It's not in this superficial 3D matrix bullshit that we're all trapped in. I don't know if anybody's realized, but our entire reality is controlled. It's controlled by media, by politicians, by whatever's trending, whatever's making money. You got big pharmaceutical companies on all the boards of all these vaccine companies, Pfizer's. You got politicians and Congress, like high level people who can basically get insider trading legally, but if you do it yourself, you get charged. They're going after crypto. Why? Because it's a threat to the establishment. If people still can't see we're all slaves in this, and religion was basically founded because in early times they fought over land and who's going to own what. Okay, but when you skip forward through all this time, we're still in that environment. We're still in wars over resources and land. It's just more modern. So you have these governments and all their officials and their little pocket people, and it's all stage, it's all show. Everything that's happening right now has been planned forever. It's been planned for like over 100 years. Our founding fathers were involved. Christianity? No. Christmas was is actually a pagan holiday, believe it or not. I hate to say it, but religion is a scam. Read the book of Enoch. I mean, Christianity, it was all manipulated, and they killed Jesus to keep him from setting us free with secret knowledge that was brought to us by, okay, it's gonna sound crazy, ancient aliens, Anunnaki. They're real. It happened. It's in our history. If you read the book Chariot of the Gods, all this, for people to think like this stuff isn't real, they're just conspiracies, I'm thinking like, really? You don't believe in any conspiracies? Like, I mean, come on. It's kind of like there. I just think people don't want to admit it, because then it's like having to admit like you've been in an abusive relationship with somebody, and the entire time they've been like lying to you, manipulating you, betraying you, using you, fearing you, like keeping you stuck in this, well, you're kind of trapped mentality. Like you got to obey. You got to, if you step out of line, if you say anything, there's going to be consequences. We're watching that everywhere. People getting doxxed. I mean, that's what they did with heresy back in the day. If you went against the ruling class, they charged you with heresy and they killed you. People who had, spiritual tendencies and stuff like that, and mysticism and alchemists and stuff like that, they were killed. They were considered witches and all this other bullshit, which isn't true. I mean, we all have the capability of opening our third eye, which has been kept from us basically by the powers that be, with through fluoride, just like all the aluminum and barium they spray in the skies. You know, all the crap that's in our food. I mean, everything, even our furniture is loaded with chemical producing cancer agents. And they have a cure for cancer. They're just not going to give it to you. I mean, notice all the kids with cancer now. It's everywhere. Everybody's got cancer. That's not normal. It's not normal. But over time, they've taken the technology and like homeopathic, everything that is natural, that gives us our free will to not be a part of this system where you're born into it, and you're born into the debt, you're born into medical tyranny at birth. You have to get all these shots. Your parents really don't have a say so. I mean, I can't grasp how people are just like, they're just gonna do it. Really? You pay taxes, you do all this, and in the meantime, they're telling you how to live your life. They don't even live really good lives. Everything is either conspiracy or misinformation, false truth, part truth, whatever it is. To me, it's a mass psyop. It's menticide. They're brainwashing people, scaring people. And the fact that they won't tell us about, like, okay, I don't want to go that hard. I'll do that in another video. It's just too much. But anyways, just like how, they killed Jesus because of what he was teaching. All right. And it went against what the powers that be wanted people to know because they didn't want them to be smart. It's just like how they dumbed us down. They medicated our kids. Big pharmaceutical companies, they make tons of money keeping us sick. But people don't tell you how to cope or meditate or do any of that kind of stuff to actually help yourself. It's just more trauma and more chaos. And honestly, these people thrive in chaos. Look at them. They're thriving. They're thriving. And Trump supporters, sorry, look at you. The squad, Hillary, Obama, they're thriving, honey. You're dying. Wake up. No one's coming to save you. Nobody is going to save you. Nobody. With inflation, you guys, low key kind of worried. I went to the pet store and they were telling me how there's going to be a shortage of certain foods and stuff. And I was like, for how long? Over a year. I'm like, a year? Really? A year? Like, what the fuck is he? How did we get here? Well, my friends, it was all done by design via COVID. COVID. This fucking COVID shit. Just like, seriously, how many people would even know they had it or have it unless they went and got one of these tests? These tests that come from China, where it originates from. My opinion, YouTube, whatever. If you don't like it, fuck off. You know, we don't want to investigate that. We got Fauci, we got all these people, crimes against humanity, and people are still going to get all of this stuff done to themselves. Like in Israel, they're going on their fourth shot, and I'm just totally blown away. Because to me, in New York, they're opening those COVID camps. They got their legislation. They're doing it in Australia. They've been doing it in Germany. History is repeating itself right in front of our eyes. I told people here in America, I think it was like in like 2000 and my boobs are too big. This makes me look fat. Okay, so in like I think it was like 2020. Wait, no, 2019. I think I did a video in like 2019, and I think it was like right around the time where all the Venezuelan people were coming here over the border. And I was like, just wait, watch. We're gonna be the next Venezuela. We are. We are. Literally happening now. Every time I go to the grocery store, I look at the price of things and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Not only that, but if you have pets and stuff like that, make sure you stock up on their food. You know, like at least get a year's supply. I'm not kidding. These food shortages and all that, this was not because of the pandemic. This was because of mandates and also in January, truckers, they have to be fully vaccinated or they can't do anything. That's where it all stems from. COVID was the key to Pandora's box of total tyranny. And so far they're winning because nobody has a backbone or they're just that, I would say, like emotionally fragile to where they would rather be in denial than to admit, like, yeah, these people really did some screwed up stuff. And then you have people who are just waking up, but they're like terrified because they're finding out certain truths and they're like, oh, buddy. So, what about all those other conspiracies? Because actually, the CIA is the one that invented the conspiracy theory term during the, I forget if it was the First World War, the Second World War. I don't know. But they came up with it. And the thing is during the pandemic, China came here and they bought majority of like Swanson Farms and all these other businesses that went bankrupt because of, COVID, you know, what was it? You can only have so many people working. They got to test, got to quarantine for so many days. Like all the restrictions, regulations, like all the crap that they put upon us, it destroyed it. And so then you had all these other people come in and buy up all that stuff and they control it. Like now, Bill Gates is one of the biggest farmland owners in America. China, they own half of America, and China also owns right now half of the world's total supply of grains. And they've been stocking up on all this and buying it from us during our lockdowns. Go figure. God, I hate Obama. This is Obama's third term. I hate him. I fucking hate the guy. It's like our government literally fucked everything up. They destroyed it. They did all this for their own personal gain, and we're being punished and we have to pay for it. And if you don't get your shots, you don't have your papers, you can't work, you can't buy food. Well, it doesn't matter because it's like, how are you going to get food anyway? In other countries, they're rationing food. You have aquifers, you have water supplies because the magnetic poles are reversing. Not climate change, bro. Wake up. They've been pushing climate change since the 70s. All it is a money laundering scheme. It's it's not that deep. Get out of fear. Okay, so you have the lockdowns. You have, well, the monopoly buying it all up. Okay, and then they put their restrictions in. They say what can come in the ports, how many boats, they have to do this, they have to do that. They literally make it as hard as they can to get products to us, just like the crap in California. Pete Buttigieg already said, well, if the infrastructure bill will pass, everything would get released. Bitch, just say you're holding it hostage. That's the thing. These Democrats, it's all a game to them. But they don't personally get affected. And when they do, when it boomerangs back to them, they want to cry about it. It's like, get real. Like, you people need to focus on real life shit. It ain't about left and right. It's about you're all about to experience what the people that were coming over our border to escape experienced. And that's what these people do. George Soros and all of them. They've been buying up all of the houses, like the Rothschilds. These demonic fucks. Hold on. I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, and I did it on a receipt. Don't judge me. Where did I write it down? Hold on, guys. Be careful. Dude, where did I put it? Anyways, I think it's the Rothschilds have a foundation. They're talking about like food waste and all that. I think, what is it? At the table, or hold on, I know I have it somewhere. God, I broke my laptop, or my laptop broke, so I can't look it up right now. But anyway, Rothschild's Foundation, reset the table. They're using this COVID pandemic, and they're talking about food, waste. Listen for that in the news and all the other outlets. They're talking about that. And basically, they're going to start rationing food and what is healthy for us, what's not healthy for us. And all over the country, there's people starving right now. They're rationing food. It's really freaking bad. And there's going to be massive shortages. And this is done by design, because this is the new world order where they control the food. They control the food, they control the people. We're entering a world of virtual reality. Majority of people, I don't know, they're just not even in reality. And it's crazy because you see all these kids right now, they go and do this dumb stuff because they don't understand there's real world consequences. But then again, how can you get mad at these kids when they're watching grown people doing way worse and getting away with it? It's just, to me, it's so played out. I'm just done with it. Man, you know what? This is what we all should do. Quit paying your taxes, quit paying everything. Because our money is what funds them. I'm joking. YouTube, don't cancel me for it. But anyways, you guys, I love you. And I hope you have a great New Year. If I don't make a video, like, my kids are exhausting. A lot of Christmas shopping. Lines were crazy. Not to mention like being low key nervous because I don't know, there's like a lot of crime going on here in Texas, and it's really disturbing too. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when you try to talk to people about this kind of stuff, they don't want to talk about it. Like, oh, it's negative, it's this and it's that. It's like, this is reality, dude. How we got here is by everybody ignoring it. And in New York, they're opening their COVID camps. You know, like Gavin Newsom, that dirty dude. He, all those lockdowns, all those hotels that went bankrupt. Oh, don't worry, Gavin Newsom bought them, turning them into safe havens and more of their social programs that he's gonna make money off of. I'm just like, Jesus. Anyways, to all you Trump supporters, I love you. I'm sorry you got played, even if you watch my channel or whatever and you don't agree with me, don't be mad because I've had some people go like totally freaking postal on me on some social media sites because I'm like, no, he's just another actor on the world stage. This is just a hustle. We're just being played. Learn how to grow your food. Start looking at things you should stock up on and get a grasp on reality. Because it's all fun and games until you end up like the people in Honduras and El Salvador and, Venezuela, Cuba. We're knocking on that door literally. We're knocking on it. And people are still in denial. Because politicians are their abusers. Hollywood, they're all the same. Just like the CNN guy, all these people getting charged with like child pornography and all this child rape, sex trafficking. It's not, it's all within politicians, Hollywood, the royal family, the Vatican, all of them. The Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church is not what you think. That's not God. That's satanic. And I know a lot of people get mad about that, but you've been fooled. You've been duped. Jesus is amazing, but he's not the Christian Christ of blonde hair and blue eyes. It's the spirit of God. It's a healing. It's the energy. It's the vibration. And it's everywhere around us. There's so much abundance around us, but people are so fucking stupid. My student loan debt is so high. It's not fair. I can't buy a house like everybody else. So nobody told you to go do that. That's like me saying, oh, I went and charged a bunch of stuff on my credit card. It's not fair that she doesn't have credit card debt and I do. It's called bad education. Teach kids how to take care of themselves. Not be little robots to work in a freaking future Jeff Bezos workstation. There's gonna be like, booster. I mean, my God, just give these people like IVs with the vax. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. All right, love you guys. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. Bye.